I'll play again. You know what? Why not? NewJeans released another dance practice. So this choreo is actually more focused on using the props that are on stage and as well as matching the way that they sing. So obviously the feel of this song and the feel of this choreo is much different from Supernatural. I'll go ahead and use both the moving version and the fixed version to go ahead and focus on different things throughout the practice. So if y'all love NewJeans, don't forget to subscribe and let's go, baby. I like how they set us up for the intro here with Hain. And then once the choreo starts, they match the tempo of the song without doing too much moves at the same time. The posing too. And then with Helen's section, they're more intricate with the timing, and they're also going to match the way that she sings. So from the very beginning, like the intro, Hain sets us up with the character that they want to portray. Basically what I'm saying is that they have much more of an attitude behind the movement versus Supernatural. While Supernatural having more of the fun, you have to smile throughout the entire thing type of like character. When they start the choreo, when Hain sits down, they, like I said earlier, they match the tempo of the song without doing too many moves at the same time. It's about the quickness of the moves and the textures to make it seem that way, since the song is more upbeat and it's pretty fast. And then when we get to Helen's section, they're going to be more intricate with the timing. You'll notice that when they get to the table part, they'll have to hit the timing on their parts so that way the effects read when highlighting Helen. And there's going to be a specific part I actually want to point out, which is where they do this wave and then they place their hands on the table, and that's actually the time they actually match the way Helen sings. And I'm just going to go and play that part so you guys can see it. Yeah, that part when she sings "My Way." I'm gonna play it again. I'll play it again. You know what? Why not? And what I like about how the members perform towards the camera. So in this case, Minji, Hain, and Danielle, I like how they do it in their own way too. So when we get Minji, Hain, and Danielle performing towards the camera, they have their own way of showing that character. And I think that's cool. Like what I'm saying is that they got their own style for it. Great use of the props to actually create a traveling pathway for the members here. Shout out to the performance directors for this. Very clever too. That's the thing with props, is that if you're going to use props, there has to be intention in the way that why they're there. So in this case, for right now, obviously the majority of the time that they're actually going to be performing is actually going to be around the props. This might be the only section they're going to be away from the props. So with the performance directors, when they choreographed this, they made sure that they choreographed it with the props in mind. That's why they have the traveling around the couch, the table, and the chairs, and as well as having choreo on the table. That's the whole reason for these props, so that way they're not just there to be just there. Otherwise, they're just in the way. So I'm going to actually switch over to the fixed version for that part, so that way we can actually focus on the choreo, so we have more of a wide view here. And we also get to see the traveling a little bit with the wide view. So you'll notice that there's going to be more hips in this choreo as well. Clean lines too, clean pictures. So I think when they get to the floor, Jesus, I can't even talk right now. When they get to the floor here, what I mentioned earlier about how they're matching with the way that they sing, this is another great example with how they get onto the floor. So it's when they sing I don't care and they straighten their legs out here, and that basically is the timing for this leg part. And then they hit this picture where they're all just sitting down right there. So nice, great pictures, super clean, nothing crazy. Another example of them matching the way that they sing. See, already going back to the props seamlessly. So great way to not really distract your audience from being like, oh, why are the members going back there? No, they did it in a way where it's seamless, or the transition in itself is seamless, so that way we're not like, oh, why are the other members coming back there? No, we're focused on the members that are being highlighted. So once all the members are there, it's like, oh, they're back at the props. But I actually want to go over this part where we get to Hane's section, where they match the way that she sings with the quickness of the way that she sings. Love that part. I think that's probably my favorite moment of the dance practice, is how they do this, like, I want to say this little wave that they do towards this side. They almost kind of look like noodles here. That's what I like to call it, where they're like noodles at that part. Yeah, I'm gonna just replay it again. Yeah, great way to really show us that part of the song. And I just love this part just because it's so seamless, because they just start walking back there, but we're focused on these three. So that way, once they're going back, it doesn't seem like we don't have to focus on them anymore up until we have to again. Like, come on, y'all. They're not just walking back there, they're walking back there with intention. Love that mini section right there with Minji using the table while everyone else is somewhere else. Again, they're matching the tempo of the song, but this time they're being more intricate with the timing with their arms when they're doing this part. And I'm specifically using the fixed version for this part so we can actually see it. I think I watched the moving version earlier too. It doesn't really show all of them, so that's why I want to use this part for or the fixed version for this part, just so we can clearly see it. And I like the flow of the choreo here. It's like it really goes and I really like that because it's just like, oh, they're not really hitting hard. It's more swift. I think that's the word that I'm looking for, is swift, and it's more of like rather than like so not really aggressive. It's also not sharp, but it's like in between sharp and flowy. It's in between that. So that's why I like to use the word swift to just really visualize it for you guys. It's the timing of it all and how they really display the textures for us. More traveling around the props, but again, the traveling is choreographed. So this traveling part is, yes, it may seem like they're walking. No, they're not. Okay, all of that is choreographed so that when they're traveling around the props, it's very intentional, and so that the dancing actually makes sense when they have to switch around and wherever they need to for the table, chair, and the couch. And I'm actually going to switch back. I'm just going to replay it one more time, and I'm going to switch back to the moving version because that one's a little bit more focused on the members at that point. I think at that point. See how they're still on the same timing when they're traveling around? great way to not really distract the audience from the main point of who's performing. So they all still have that same groove when they're walking or traveling around the actual props. So let's switch back to the moving version here. I think at this point, I think Honey is on the table. Yeah, right here. We might as well go here. Now I like how she seamlessly gets off the table, where she doesn't look like she's actually struggling to get off, but she still stays in that character. I like this part because it's more focused about going towards the members, and they're performing towards the camera here. Great use of timing here. Great use of timing. So when we get to the part where they actually get back to the table here, this is all on timing now at this point. Using the musicality of the song and the counts. Yeah, I'm gonna just play that part once again. Why not? Why not? What I like is just that it's so fluid, that everything seems to transition really well, even though that they're using props. That's so good. Dude, NewJeans has been killing it, man. NewJeans has just been killing it. Hope y'all learned something today from, you know, this dance practice. I love that they use props and how they didn't just have them there just to be there. So yeah, so if y'all love NewJeans, don't forget to subscribe. I'm out.